So imagine two different science classes. One class you go in and the first month you have vocabulary and you learn all the different words, what all the different words mean, and you study for standardized tests. That's not crazy. My kids actually had a class like that once and they came home and they said, I don't like science. And I'm like, well, this is not good. Up, down, up, down. What's the wavelength? The wavelength is the distance between peaks or the distance between troughs. And then imagine another class where the kids go in, they learn the vocabulary, but they also get to do activities, they discuss things, science is more alive. I'm going to walk slowly that way, and I want you to look what happens to me. This is a little embarrassing. All right, let's go. Go on, walk slowly that way. All together. So it's really a question in my mind as to whether we're going to get them excited about learning science at this stage or whether we're going to turn them off. The physics behind this is similar to a flute. I'm teaching the physics part of the physical science class. So many of the teachers have never had a physics class. They're actually really good teachers, okay? But they may have come to science teaching in a kind of roundabout way. Someone was a German major, someone else was a journalism major. So they're really good teaching and relating to the students, but they don't have the necessary science content. And so my job is to kind of teach them the science content, but in a way that's relevant for this grade level. In other words, we're not just taking what we do at the university and making it simpler or whatnot. It's actually designed specifically for this grade level. If I personally go to some place, a cocktail party, for example, even though I never go to a cocktail party or somewhere, and you say, oh, I'm a physics professor, probably the first thing they said is, I took physics and I hated it, okay? So why did they hate it? Well, they had a big lecture and they had to take notes, and then they did homework, and then they had an exam that was graded on some terrible curve. And so hopefully this class is about as far away from that as we can get. So I think a lot of the intimidation comes from past experience, and we're trying to change that. That's one of the things we're trying to change. The online class that we're doing is fairly unique, certainly unique for UF, in that we're going to ship you what I call toys. It's your equipment, okay? Mostly made from everyday things. And there are some experiments to do, some labs to do, that just like you might look on YouTube to learn how to, I learned how to upholster a chair or something. We're going to do the labs, we're going to take data, and then we're going to try to make sense of it. So it's not just a question of doing the activities, but understanding how it relates to physics. And then that part, the sense making, is where you're going to have a lot of interaction with me, either face-to-face or some kind of video conference. The teachers are very resourceful, they can do the labs. But then after that, there's a human being, because we don't just do this stuff, we have to understand how, what it means. There's pressure all around that this is not just raising the teachers that are in U Futures, but raising the other people around them, because they see what's happening. Here's a class that's, everybody goes in, they're all excited, they're all, and certainly if you're excited, you're more likely to learn than if you're not excited, right? My kids are now in 7th grade, going in 8th grade, and you can see what a difference the teacher makes. I mean, the teacher for any given subject makes an enormous difference. And so if there's any way that I can make a difference, then I'd like to try.